Morning, children. So it had been a long time that we had been back with the books and all, and because of this corona and all, and now it is time for us to be back at school, and we are actually going through a very tough time. We cannot go out. The entire summer holidays is spoiled in a way. Like no, we couldn't go out for movies or go to parks or go on picnics or some show programs might have been there. We couldn't go to our grandfather's village. Everything was locked because of corona. But somehow we are all safe as of now, and for that we should thank the God Almighty because we were able to do something so that we get ourselves prevented from getting affected by these things, isn't it? Right. So, before we start with the lesson, we will once pray to the God Almighty for all the wonderful facilities that we have and whatever things that we see around us in the bright, broad sunlight. The flowers, the fruits, the plants, the animals, the hills, the plains, the climate, everything is actually blessed by the God. So we will pray. Of course, that's a tradition for us also. We will pray every morning before we start our daily activities. If you go to school, we have a prayer in the assembly, isn't it? So, just as we are about to start with the sessions, the lessons and all, we will go for a prayer and then we will start with the lessons. Right?
Let's pray. Oh Lord, thank you for this life that we have received and the time we have been given. A sweeter gift could not be had. We thank you for the beauty of the land that we behold and the bounty of our crops. We thank you for all that is beautiful, kind, and graceful in this world. We wish for your blessings throughout our lives and pray that no evil shall cross our path. Guide us, protect us, and lead us, Lord.
So we have thanked God for all that what we have, and we will now into the lesson. So what did you basically do during this holidays? You couldn't go out, you couldn't go and play with your friends on the roads or a ground, you couldn't go to your native place, you're completely locked, enough. So what were you doing? Yeah, most of us watch the Cartoon Network or other kind of programs that we have on the TV. Not bad, but okay. How long will we watch TV? After watching TV for a while, we'll get bored, no? So we'll play some games or something like that. We'll play with something. So what do we play with? What do we play with? Yeah, we play with the toys. Right? We play with the toys. And toys are made up of soft things like cloth will be there, usually stitched out of soft clothes with cotton balls or sponge pieces loaded inside. Some will be with the soft rubber kind of stuffs, and some will be hard plastic because it won't break. Sorry. So puppet is a small soft toy which doesn't have any fixed parts. The legs, head and all these kinds of things are just stitched together, and it has another speciality that we can move the parts. We can move the parts. For example, if you want, you can make a puppet to walk. Okay, we will keep the puppet on our shoulder, we will take the legs on our hands and we can make it a walk. Means we can play different kind of characters with these kinds of puppets. And in olden days we had puppet shows. Now we have cinema, films, movies. So in the olden days there were no movies. So what did people do for entertainment during that time? What they did is they will keep one big white screen and keep a fire behind it, a huge fire. All the people will be sitting in front of the screen, and these puppet players will keep different kinds of puppets in between the screen and the fire. So what will happen? Yeah, the puppet will make the shadow on the screen. Okay, so they will make different stories. For example, if they want to tell the story of Ramayana, there will be a puppet of Rama, there will be a puppet of Sita, right? They will make this puppet move like as if it is walking. And people will give voice over. Voice over means they will say the dialogues, music and all these kinds of things from behind. They cannot be seen. And the people who are sitting in front will have an impression that, oh, something is happening on the screen. Just as we see movies. Okay, so that is a puppet show. Now, how did these puppets originate? How did these puppets origin? Origin means start. Where, when, why, how? Who invented this? We know puppet was there actually for a long time. Nobody exactly knows who, where, when invented it, isn't it? Huh? If we ask for something, common kinds of things, we can say, for example, who invented a radio? Marconi invented a radio. Okay, just like that. But who invented puppet? So, in our mythology or folk stories are there, folk stories. So they have a lot of story kind of things regarding the origin of these puppet shows or some other kinds of things happening also. Okay, they have a lot of stories. Nobody knows whether it is true or not, but we believe they are true. We believe they are true. It has happened so, and that is why it happened so. We believe it. Okay? There is no scientific proof to prove whether these things have happened or not. But we believe it. So in our mythology, Indian mythology or Indian folk stories, we have got a lot many things like that. So we have so many such stories in our mythology. For example, in olden days, our teachers, Gurukula system, we started to write on leaves, palm leaves, and then people started to write on processed animal skin, and then processed wood bark, and from there came paper. Not many slates were there, like that. Okay, so now we have got a Chinese story. What do we have? We have a Chinese story which tells how these puppets origin. Okay, the beginning of puppets, how puppets came to earth. So the lesson we have is the origin of puppets, which means how puppets came into happening. Okay? So this is a story from the Chinese mythology, and they tell us how puppets came into happening. Okay? They too were in the front run of bringing so many things to us. So this is a Chinese story saying how the puppets started on this earth. Okay, so the story says that there was a king once upon a time in China. There was a king who actually ruled China during the Han's time. So what do you mean by Han's time? I'll explain. See, India was ruled by different kings. India was ruled by different kings. From a group of rulers who come under a particular family is known by a particular name. For example, we had Gupta kings. Gupta rulers were there. Okay, then we had Maurya. Maurya kings ruled our country. Then we had Mughals. Okay, the kings like Akbar, Shah Jahan, Akbar's father Babur. Okay, Babur's son Akbar, Akbar's son Shah Jahan, Shah Jahan's son Aurangzeb. All these people together is known as Mughals. If we want to say something, for example, if we want to say when was Red Fort constructed? Actually, it was constructed by Shah Jahan. So we can say Red Fort was constructed during the Mughals' time. During the Mughals' time means when the Mughals were ruling our country. When the Mughal kings were ruling our country, Red Fort was constructed. Or during the Maurya time, when the Maurya kings were ruling our country, we had trade relationships with other countries. We had trade relationships with other countries, which means we had trade relationships when some of the Maurya kings, maybe entire kings, but it happened during that time. Okay? It happened during that time. Or your father may say, during my school time, I used to play football. So what do you mean by school time? When he was a small kid and when he was studying in a school, it can be from LKG to 10th class, 12 years. Okay, so that 12 years period is called as a school time. Okay, in the same way, China, there were some kings called Hans. Okay, they belonged to a particular family and they were called Hans. Right? So this king who is actually in our story belonged to that particular time. Okay, so this king was ruling China during the Hans time. Got it? Is it clear? Right. So the king who happened to be a part of bringing puppets ruled China during the Han's time, when the Han's kings were ruling China. Right? Now, his speciality was he had a very good, beautiful, loving wife, and he loved his wife very much. Now his speciality was he had a very good, beautiful, lovely wife, queen. A wife of a king is called a queen. Okay, so he had such a good queen and he loved her very much. Okay, but unfortunately what happened was that this queen fell ill. She was brought down with some disease. Okay, she fell ill and king became very sad because he loved his wife very much. He tried everything possible. He brought in doctors. In palace itself there will be doctors, and he then made announcements to get doctors from outside. He tried every possible thing, but unfortunately he could not save the life of the queen. He could not save the life of the queen. What happened? The queen died. He loved the queen very much. Even when she fell ill, it was impossible for him to take it, that his wife is down with some illness. And how it will be when she died? The king became very sad. The king became very sad. Earlier, he was loved by all the people. He was a happy man. He used to come to the court. He used to talk with other ministers and other officers. And whatever has to be done so that his people will be happy, he did everything. He was quite happy with his wife. But now, his wife is dead, and the king became very sad. He was always sitting somewhere and thinking about his wife. He was not doing anything else. He never used to come to the court. Even if he comes, he will come there, he will sit here on his throne and simply sit and think about his wife. The ministers will come and say, "Sir, Your Majesty, we have got a problem here. There is no rain this year. We need to dig some canals so that the farmers may get some water." King will be sitting. Because he is lost completely in the thought of his wife, not the welfare of the people. Not thinking about his people. The ministers were worried. He is not taking food properly. He is not living a good life properly. So what will happen to the king? We need to eat well. We need to take some rest. We need to keep our body healthy if we have to be alive. But the king is very sad. He is not leading a good life. Nobody knows when he goes to sleep and nobody knows when he gets up. He is not eating properly. His mind is not active. So the king is in a very serious danger. If somebody come and ask him, "Sir, this is very urgent. We need to do something immediately," he will only say, "Okay, keep it aside. I will think about it later. I will look into that later, not now. I am not in a mood to think about all these kinds of things. Just keep it aside. Leave me alone." If the king of the kingdom says like this, what will the people do? What will the ministers doing? What will the officers do? Nobody knows what to do. Because the king is the person who has to take the decisions. Right? So everything almost got stuck. The people became worried. They were very sad because it was quite what we call injustice that the king lost such a good wife whom he loved very much. The ministers were worried because the king's health is deteriorating. It's getting weak and weak, and the country is not in a position to deal with anything over there. Okay, so during the daytime the king may go to the garden and sit over there. Then he may watch a group of ducks a flock of ducks swimming in the pond, or a flock of birds flying in the sky, swans or something like that, or a deer may come and jump in front of him. But nothing could make him happy. Nothing in the world could make him happy. He always sat there thinking about his wife. The people were worried, the ministers were worried, something is very bad is going to happen with the king. So how can we make him happy back? Everybody over there was thinking about this. What can we do so that our king will be very happy? See, the king is a very good king. That is why the people are so worried. If it is a bad king, they will be thinking, okay, he is very bad. That is why God did these kinds of things on him. But this king is a very good king. Okay, so all the people over there, the people, the ministers, everybody was actually checking or thinking, what can we do so that the king will be happy? Okay. Now, people tried many things, but nothing could work over there. That was a problem. People tried many things, but nothing could work over there. There was a priest in his palace. There was a priest. One day, the priest saw some children playing with some dolls. Playing with some dolls. So what these children were doing over there? The children were holding these puppets in the hand, these dolls in the hand, and they were holding it against the sunlight. So sunlight is coming from there, and when they keep the doll here, the doll make a shadow there. Okay? Now they were making the doll move in different actions, different movements, and they started making sound. If they made a doll angry and they move it like this and they make a sound or ooh. Okay, so based on the movement that they give to the doll, whose shadow was falling on the floor, these people were giving some sounds. So they used different kinds of dolls. Okay, the children were basically enjoying the game. That's it, nothing else in that. But the priest, when he stood over there, he got something interested in that. Hey, this looks interesting. Right? So he stood there, observed what these children are doing and how they are playing with that, and he was enjoying it. As he was enjoying it, something struck him. He got an idea. The priest who saw the children playing with the puppets, the toys, got an idea. What did he do? He went home and made a puppet, a big doll, right? And a doll of a king. And he made the face and the features of the king and the dolls as one of the king and the second of the queen. Okay? So he made two dolls. One, he modified it as if it looked like the empress. Empress means the queen. And the second one, he made it as if it looked like the emperor. Emperor means the king. So emperor is the king. A person who rules an empire is called an emperor, and his wife is an empress. Okay? And he made these puppets ready, everything ready. He made some, rehearsals and all, and he went to the palace and said, Your Majesty is addressing the king or a ruler with respect. He said, Your Majesty, I have prepared a doll show for you, so you please come and watch it. What did the priest say? My lord, Your Majesty, I have prepared a doll show for you, please come and watch it. What will the king say? Not now, yeah. I'll watch it later. Keep it aside, I will do it later. Priest said, No, Your Majesty. Please come over there and watch it once. There's nothing wrong in that. You just come over there and watch the show for just once. King said, Not now, my dear priest. I'm not in the mood to watch all these kinds of things. I lost my wife. Priest said, I know it, my Majesty. I know that you are in very deep sorrow, but I still, it's my heartfelt request. Please come over there and watch this doll show. So, the priest was in no mood to leave the king. But he cannot order because the person is the emperor, the ruler. Isn't it? If the ruler become angry, it's a big problem. So, continuously the priest was after the king requesting, please, my Majesty, my dear emperor, please come over there, please, please, please. After a while the king said, okay, I will come and watch it. Okay, I will come and watch it. Actually the emperor was not much interested to go over there and watch this program. The king had no interest at all. The emperor had no interest at all. But the priest was after him requesting, please, 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 please. He agreed. And after agreeing, it's not good to break it, no? The king agreed, okay, I will come and watch it. And how good it is if you break it after agreeing to do something? It's not good. Just because of that reason, the king decided, okay, I will go there, I will sit there for a while and come back. So that the emperor, the priest will be happy. Right? So he went there and a special seat was arranged there for him to sit. He sat over there and then the priest started the show. What did he do? he kept a big white screen or cloth in front of the king and put a big fire behind the screen. Right? A big white cloth in front and a huge fire behind, and then he brought these two dolls, these two puppets in between the screen and the fire. Okay? See, the king is, imagine, the king is sitting here. Here we have a big screen. Okay? And here we have a fire, and here he kept the dolls, the puppets. Now what happens? The fire that comes, the rays that come from here marks the shadow over here. And the person who sits over here will be watching this shadow. Isn't it? So the king, the emperor was sitting here. The emperor was sitting here. And the priest played the dolls in between the screen and the fire, and they got the shadows on the screen. And what did the priest do? The priest actually collected some incidents, some happy incidents that had happened in the life of this king with the queen, the emperor, the empress. Okay? So the emperor had very good days with his wife, the empress, before she died. Isn't it? So those stories were collected, and he started saying the story of the emperor and the empress when they were very happy through these dolls to the king itself. So king is watching his own story with his wife when she was alive over here. When the king came, he never had any interest. He never had any interest. But when the king sat there and looked at this screen, he could see the shadow of his empress over there, as if she is alive and back. But the king knows it well. She is no more. Okay? The king knows it well. She is no more. But the king enjoyed it a lot. As the king sat over there and watched this, the king had a feeling as if his wife is still alive. The king enjoyed it. So he became happy because he got some shadow kind of a thing of his dead wife. He became very happy. Okay, after becoming happy, after the show got over, he came out and he said to the priest, "My dear priest, arrange this program every day, because every evening I would like to watch this show. I would like to watch this show every evening." The next day morning, he as usual came to the court. Sat there. Asked the ministers what are to be done, what are the emergencies, how to deal with. He discussed everything with the ministers, and he was almost back. Every day in the evening, the king will go to the priest. They will watch this show, and the king will have a feeling as if he has his wife in front of him. Okay, slowly the king came out of the sorrow that he was in. He was very sad earlier, no? Slowly he came out of it and he became a happy man. Then the priest went to him and said, "My dear king, see, happiness and sadness, these two things are there in our life. Even we too will have, no? Are we always happy? No. Are we always sad? No. Sometimes we will be happy, sometimes we will be sad. And we need to balance these two things. If we want to live happily, if we want to live a successful life, the most important thing that we need to do for that is to balance these two things in our life. So how can we make our moments of sadness into happiness? See, we have got a lot of memories about when we were happy, isn't it? For example, this time, because of Corona, we couldn't go out. Okay, but what did we do? Yeah, what did we do last time when we went to a beach? We think about it. Yeah, that was a great day, na? Oh, heavy waves were coming and slashing on the beach over there. We played there, you hit me with the ball. Yeah, we jumped into the water. Father was there. So there came some other kids, isn't it? Yeah. So with those memories of those good and happy days that we had in front of us, we have to make our sad days balanced, happy with that. Okay? And that is the way we make ourselves better. Because if we keep on thinking, oh my God, I couldn't do anything this time, what will happen? This time also will go. Isn't it? So we should be ready for the time to come. For that, we should always keep ourselves happy, healthy and fit. Right? So, this was the words or this was a lesson that the priest taught the king. Now, the king was able to think about what the priest was saying. And the king understood, yeah, I lost my wife and I cannot make my people suffer because I lost my wife. I'm a king, I have got responsibilities. I need to do so many things for my people, and the only thing that I can, only if I am happy and I am okay with myself, I can do all these kinds of things. Okay, the king realized this as a lesson and he said, thank you my dear priest, you have taught me a great lesson. Even now, for us also, we have to do the same thing. We may be happy, the exam got over, we got the papers, we got some less marks. We didn't expect these much marks, but we were expecting some good marks. No problem. There will be another exam again. We should get ready. We should prepare ourselves for scoring more marks in that exam. That is what we need to do now. If we always sit and think, oh my God, I got very less marks, oh my God, I got very less marks, what will happen? What will happen? Now the teachers will be teaching, we want to listen to the class, we will never understand what happened in the class. When we try to study them, we will not understand, again we will get very less marks. Isn't it? Now, okay, I got less marks, fine. Next time, I need to get good marks. So the moments of sorrow keep it aside. Now, last time, I got very good marks. Huh? Okay, no problem, I will study again. Listen to the class carefully, understand what the teachers are saying. Now, you will get very good marks. Okay? So, sorrows and joy both are parts of our life. And we need to balance these two things properly so that we can make our life happy, our life a successful one. Understand? So this is the lesson part, and we will go to the exercise part thereafter. Okay?